In February next year, it's gonna be 4 years that I've been living and embraced a minimalist lifestyle. And in today's video, I simply want to share with you what I've learned those past 4 years. And just in case you don't know, in 2014, I moved out of my mom's place. I packed everything into a big suitcase and a carry-on, and I headed for New York City, where I ended up living for 3 months. And that's really how my moving and traveling journey started. Number one, validating needs versus wants is life changing. Before embracing a minimal lifestyle, I don't think it was clear to me what a want is and what a need is. Now, basic human needs are, of course, shelter, food, all of that good stuff. And everything that goes past that can usually be considered a want. And prior to embracing a minimalist lifestyle, I was purchasing way too much clothing. I had way more than I needed. And ever since I had my big purchase, I've gained a much greater awareness of what my needs are and what my wants are. And making myself aware of that has helped me greatly with not buying a bunch of crap and with just living a little more consciously. Number two, letting go of stuff gets easier and easier. Every time I move, I declutter. Every time I move, I let go of some more, or I replace certain items with items that fulfill the function that I'm looking for better. Every time I move, I find a better way to pack, and every time I move, letting go of what I no longer need just gets easier and easier. And I've really grown to love letting go and to really embrace it. That, of course, is not limited to physical items. That goes for relationships, expectations, whatever you can think of. I find it easier and easier to let go. Number three, space is for humans and not stuff. I've grown to really love living in small spaces, and I've also realized that a lot of the times the space that we do occupy is actually filled to the brim with stuff that we don't really need and that we oftentimes don't even have a use for. We've just been holding on to what we have for years and years without really thinking a whole lot about it, and I've grown to really appreciate spacious places. And that's not to say that I appreciate huge spaces. No, I actually appreciate small spaces with very little stuff. I only really have clothing and a couple of electronics and, little bits and bobs. So when I look at spaces these days, I'm really just looking, would I like this space? I'm not asking myself, oh, would all my stuff fit into this space? I'm really just asking, would I like to be living in this space? And this also has been truly life-changing, that way of thinking, because prior to moving out of my mom's place, I bought a whole bunch of furniture and I put stuff in it that I didn't really need. And really looking at what I need and what I don't need. And appreciating just space and not filling it with furniture and stuff that I don't need has been life-changing. Number four, less stuff, less stress. I'm someone that appreciates quiet places. I'm not too fond of too much visual stimulation because it's draining. I find it really exhausting, and it also makes me really uncomfortable. I'm at ease when I'm somewhere where there's not too much visual stimulation, a place that's very calm, very quiet, and where there simply isn't too much going on. And I've grown to really appreciate that this is my preference. And whenever I travel or whenever I'm staying somewhere else, I've also grown to just really appreciate calm places that are not as visually stimulating as other places. Number five, I used to be so excited whenever I would get a new package in the mail that was filled to the brim with clothing that I didn't really need. And now after 4 years, I of course still appreciate new or used items. I still get excited. It's just that I don't find buying something new as satisfying as I used to. As I said, I used to get really excited. I was really freaked out about a new purchase. And today I'm not as emotionally attached as I used to the things that I buy, because most of the things that I do end up buying, I do so because I need them or because they meet my needs better than a previous item. And I do so with a lot of intention. Versus previously, I was really just buying things because I desired them, and I wasn't really putting a lot of thought into whether I actually needed this particular item or not. Number 6. Change can be embraced with ease. My parents divorced when I was 7 or 8, and that's when I moved from a huge house to a relatively small apartment. Not ridiculously small, just regular size, really. And at that age, at that time, I really struggled with change. And then lots of other things happened that turned my life around. And for the last few years, I just found it easier and easier to embrace change. I've grown to really love the fact that I can just pack everything up and move on. It gives me a peace of mind. I find it very calming. And aside from material possessions, I've also found that whatever else changes in my life, I'm more easily and more willing to adapt to change. And that really is a beautiful feeling to have because it makes life a whole lot easier. Number 7. Greater awareness and confidence. I'm so much more aware of my environment, the people that I'm interacting with, their feelings, my emotions, my desires, my wants, my wishes, other people's emotions, desires, and wishes. And as a result of that, I've gained so much more confidence. I feel more comfortable in myself. I have a lot more confidence in my abilities, and I just feel so much more at ease. Number 8. Small moments are everything. Making a cup of tea, chatting with a friend, meeting someone that I haven't seen in a while, cooking dinner for friends and family, reading a really good book, or watching a really excellent video. Small moments like that are really everything to me, and I'm so much more appreciative of these small moments than I ever was. I was oftentimes consumed with thinking, oh, what should I buy next? Where should I spend my money on next? And that's not to say that I wasn't saving. I was saving a whole lot of money considering what I made when I was a student. However, so much of my money did go towards clothing that I didn't really need, and so much of my time was consumed shopping and thinking about what I would want to buy and what I wouldn't be so keen on buying. And with all of those things now no longer really being a priority in my life, I so much more appreciate really small moments. Those small moments that, make up life. Number 9. Relationships are precious. I move a lot. I've lived in Berlin, I've lived in London, I've lived in New York City 2 times, and I also travel quite a bit. And it can of course be difficult to maintain relationships. And I've grown into the habit of having Skype dates with my best friends and my beloved family members, and I've just gotten into the habit of really keeping in touch with the people that I love and that are really close to me on a regular basis. And that's something that's grown more important to me because I moved out of my mom's place 4 years ago in 2014. and I managed to stay in touch with my closest friends, and it's given me so much. And whenever I do see them in person, face to face, I'm so much more grateful to have them in my life, and I appreciate them so much more than I probably ever did in my life. Number 10. Adventure calls my name louder than stuff. As I said earlier, I used to spend a lot of time looking for stuff and buying stuff. And while I wasn't necessarily spending a huge portion of my money on stuff, I was buying a considerate amount of clothing every couple months. And these days, my days are spent with looking into trips that I could take, restaurants that I could try out, looking into activities that I could do, or looking into places that I could check out. And I'm getting so much more joy out of it, because most of the time I'm with someone else and I get to spend time with my loved ones. I get to see something new, I get to explore a new place, a new country, a new environment, and I'm just having the time of my life. And whenever I'm receiving money, I look at it as an opportunity to, of course, put some aside, and also as an opportunity to spend time with my loved ones, to explore and to travel. The past 4 years have been absolutely amazing. I'm forever grateful for everything that happened and for everything that is to come. And I really just wanted to share that with you. And if you are thinking of embracing minimalism, then I can only highly encourage you to do so, because it can be truly life-changing. Which I know sounds a little cheesy, that's really just how I feel about it. Have a lovely day, and see you guys next time.